All right, welcome back, guys, to the Scald channel. It's been over 2 years since I've posted anything on here, but the reason that I'm putting out this video today, we are going to be playing a kind of little playtesters tournament. Well, the old playtesters. Uh, and we're going to have some behemoths, and we're going to just play and see how Drop Zone is faring these days. 2 years after Battle for Earth with the version 2 launch, and all the different changes that have happened since its launch to, well, today. And so I'm going to be taking a look at my Scourge, how we're going to play in the tournament, my initial thoughts on some of the unit changes, the way I'm building my list, what I expect out of it, and just happy to play some Drop Zone again. Okay, so I'm going to start with my first armored battle group, and that is just your standard three hunters, the Marauder dropship, and then I've got the Overseer barge. Um, Not used to a lot of these new names, but that's all right. I'll get through it. So the Overseer has seen a lot of change from V1, the beta, to today. Overall, I think the Overseer is still in a pretty solid spot. I still wish it buffed range for all those plasma keywords, but I'm sure it's going to do great. I'm sure it's still a staple in almost every Scourge list. Okay, so my second battle group is going to be the armor battle group. It's going to just be 6 hunters and the despoiler. Um, Despoiler is just a cheaper transport than having two squads of three with a marauder. Despoiler doesn't have the guns on it today. It's just going to be a transport. So the hunter tank has always performed well for me. Um, Although a lot of that also had to do with the old command cards. So I'm going to be trying with the new version 2 command cards to see how the tanks fare, where if they are still the solid rock star of the Scourge list, who knows? But they will be going up against at least one behemoth. We might have two or three at the tournament. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right. So then my frontline battle group number one is just 150 points, and it's 6 bases of warriors, 2 invader APCs, and the marauder. 150 points get you all that. Objectives are the way to win the game. And my Scourge list is coming in on really, I think only 4 squads that can get objectives. So, yeah, we've got some warriors, we've got the Demolisher shock troops, prowlers. Well, I'll cover that in a sec. And then a screamer, and I think that's really all of it for my infantry. But 150 points. Infantry are just awesome in version 2, even after all the changes from Battle for Earth's launch. I think, on the small end for infantry size, but we'll see what everybody else brings. Curious to see what other Scourge players are bringing infantry-wise. I've avoided looking into on the Discord, like the Scourge chat channel, and like really digging in there, viewing everybody's tips and tactics. I'm trying to approach this just from a what's changed in V2 and what I think might be cool. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so that is the frontline battle group number one. Then we've got frontline battle group number two. Now this one is going to be more of a more dedicated, like those are the fights I think I need to win battle group. Just between putting destroyers in a building or prowlers. I'm actually interested to see how they perform for getting objectives, getting back to their ship and or their transport, and can they kill other people in close combat? It's interesting. I don't know if I like that change or if I just want them to be back into the mindless swarm of guys that you dropped off around enemy tanks and let them mulch. I mean, I suppose they can still do that, but when you've got a 40-point squad that's capable of going in and getting an objective, that's tempting, really tempting. So we're going to throw them in the list. We're going to see how they do. I could definitely see more, a swarm of them just going in grabbing stuff from buildings. Also in the list is the often lamented um, Annihilator mobile ordnance, or just Annihilator. That's kind of how I've always called it. It's just there to see what it's going to do. With the way that there's no more scattering in version 2, it's dropping what, an energy 11 template. Got some paperwork here, and energy 12. So even if it misses, it's an energy 10 hit. Um, I think that can be solid. I still don't know about it. I think it might be just a little too expensive. Um, but yeah, we'll see. All right. So that is the core of my infantry. Moving on, I'm going over to the HQ group, which is this group over here. That is the Oppressor Command Arthropod. Whew, I hate that name. Hate it. I don't like these arthropod names. I just it's the oppressor. But he's going to be a CB2. I will be competing against the Command Value 1 podcast. I don't know if I'm technically a member or I just get smuggled in. Doesn't matter. I'll be going up against the CV1 guys, who I believe are only taking CV1 commanders to keep into the name of their channel. So CV2, I'm just slightly better. That and I don't know if you really need that much, especially since the command cards I don't think are that vital in V2. If faction specific cards ever come out, Dave, looking right into the camera at you, let's do that. Maybe it'd be better. Okay, so the oppressor I think is really interesting. He hasn't changed too much, but he does have resilient. So he's got what, 9 damage points, I think. Yeah, 9 damage points. Um, he's just going to be hard to kill. I mean, you're basically needing to land 9 hits on him, since they ignore the critical. Um, so we'll see. I've always kind of liked him, but he's never been that great. But if you do pair him with the Overseer, you used to be able to do some fun combos by extending the range. But the Overseer allowing for the rerolls for damage is still really good. So we'll play it out. We'll test it out. We'll have fun with it. Uh, Also throwing in the Savager Laser Barge. So this is the model that was the one Scourge famous commander who I'm forgetting at the moment. Doesn't matter. He's dead, I think. Who knows? Um, we've got the Savager Laser Barge. Don't like that name either, but okay. 120 points. I'm curious to see how well it performs. I want to say its base energy attack is only energy 7, but it does have Destroyer on a 6. And so if it hits, it's potentially doing 4 to 6 damage, or 2 to 4 damage every time it fires. We'll see if the dice are with me or not. But yeah, it's a testing it out. That's what we're doing in V2 here for this tournament. All right, now for my last battle group, my Vanguard battle group. This one is kind of my anti-infantry component of the list. I've got, my armor groups are dedicated to taking out enemy armor, behemoths. Um, I don't have really much in the way of AA anything in this list, but I think for the most part, maybe I don't need it. We'll see how this goes. I've got the Overseer, who's my AA, and I've got some the vampires. It's kind of it, but but this is my anti-infantry section of the list. We've got the Harbinger drop troop ship with acid streamers. Whereas before it used to be called the Raider, now it's the Harbinger troop ship. Um, okay, whatever. They just needed to change up the model. It is a pretty big honking thing of resin, so I understand that one. And I've got the Screamer, and the Screamer can go into buildings. I mean, that's interesting, awesome. He's always been one of my favorite models. He's just, cool. He's fun. Really enjoy the guy. All right, now what I think might be the most broken piece in my list, just eyeballing it and thinking about different options, we come to the Eradicator Chameleopod. Only 110 points. He's cheaper than the Annihilator, but he can put out like 15 shots a turn with his focus and with flame, or so like he can just target infantry and buildings. He doesn't even need to see them. I mean, you can move him up the table 9 inches with the Harbinger, drop him off. If he can get behind a building, he can shoot essentially up to 33 inches up the table from the board edge um, to any infantry in any building. I mean, maybe I read that wrong. I think I've got it all kind of figured out. And they have what's that keyword? Devastator. Yes, Devastator. So if I cause 1 wound, it's like 3. So yay. Um, it's only energy 3. PHR troops are going to be harder to kill. But I don't know. I think that's kind of broken. He also has resilience, so you're doing 9 damage points to him as well to try and remove him. I think even though I'm lacking in infantry, the fact that like infantry and stuff are never like tied up in close combat in version 2, I can save this battle group for the kind of, well, whenever the enemies move to their infantry, I can just activate this battle group, and between the Harbinger troop ship with its acid streamers and my Chameleopod Eradicator, it's not a great name, Eradicator. We're looking to do some damage. So, anyways, that is my list I'm taking to this tournament. I'm excited to play some games of Drop Zone again. We are doing this, I think, the November 4th weekend. Looking to probably live stream it on the channel here, most of it. We'll see, but we're gonna be playing Drop Zone, doing a tournament of that, maybe some other games. Maybe I can get Patrick on here, Patrick Winter from well, he helped me with a lot of the Drop Fleet stuff, and he's been active in the community, won all sorts of tournaments. We might be able to get him on from Sweden. So yeah, we're just gonna play, have fun, and enjoy some version 2. So yeah, looking forward to talking to you guys more.